Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Happy Sunday. Hi, Giorgio. Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Natalie. Hi.
Another packed week,
Yes.
another week full of stuff going on, but this time we want to focus on one topic and something slightly different because
Yes.
we're not used to it. But before we start, let's say hello to the chat. Then I want to talk a little bit about VPR because I want to say something about some leaks and some stuff that's come out after the reunion. Okay. And I
Mm.
know Georgio has a lot of that info, but we're not going to get into it, guys. We need a little break from VPR right now from the scandal and all of it. I'm sure Georgio does need it as well because you're reporting on it all the
Thank
time.
guys, thank God for good lighting up here. There's luggage under my eyes. I have Scandival fatigue.
You still have a tan though, and it looks good.
Oh yes. Thank God I hold on to it.
I know. You've got this Greek olive skin. Oh, it looks so good when you're tanned.
You know, my dad was very dark, like dark, dark, dark.
I know. I've seen your dad.
I have my dad's skin coloring, so I get color very fast. But I'm starting to notice as I get older, I get my mom's because my mom is fair. She's
Yeah.
more sensitive. My skin is getting more sensitive. Well, I'm sure the global warming isn't helping, but I'm starting to notice that my skin's getting a little bit more sensitive to the sun. But nonetheless, yes.
SPF 50.
That's
Right.
right.
Right. Let's start. So Devin says Team Heather. I want to say before we
This
start,
is
you
so
guys,
funny. I
there
didn't
are
realize there
no
would be
teams.
teams. I did not realize there would be teams in this. This is so hilarious. I
There
love it.
are teams on YouTube everywhere, but here today in this live, there are no teams because I've got to say that both Giorgio and I really enjoyed Jeff Lewis live, his radio show. We like Megan and we love Heather McDonald too. So we're just gonna go into this as neutrally as possible. Okay.
Well, and
Okay.
also just to be fair, very friendly with Chef Stu, who is Jeff's
True.
boyfriend. So, I mean, they've all spoken to some degree at this point and communicated. So I don't think there's serious bad blood, but I am interested from the point of, the dynamic of these friendships and why Heather finds herself in these situations. Because if I'm honest, I love Heather, but this isn't the first time people have called her some of those things. So I just
Mhm.
wonder are these group of people even her friends? And I again preface with I love all of them individually and I think they're all talented and add
Mhm.
something to the group. However, I do wonder after this whole situation how everyone really feels about Heather McDonald.
We'll look into that. We'll do a reading. We'll look at their charts. We'll look at everything today and talk about it. Georgia will keep us updated as to what happened for those of you who are not sort of aware what's been going on that camp because we've been all busy looking elsewhere, which is New Jersey. Oh, by the way, Girls Trip, the first episode came out and it was so lackluster. What did you think, by the way?
Can I be honest? I haven't
Yeah.
watched them yet. I think when they dropped the first 3 episodes or something like they normally do. I've been waiting because I've been trying to catch up. Well, first of all, Miami concluded uh,
Yeah.
their last reunion part, so need to
Mhm.
catch up there. And then, New Jersey of it all. So there's always something going on in New Jersey.
Oh God, yeah, that's another another story for another day. But for now, we'll stick to what we said we're going to stick. But before we start with the whole not Jeff Lewis, but Heather McDonald and Megan drama and fallout, I want to say that remember, guys, when Georgia and I were here and we were talking about the whole scandal of it all. And didn't I say that they were in love, that they were a couple? This was like 3 or 4 weeks of when everything came out. So there are lots of leaks and photos of them that they were seen having a dinner for two out after the reunion, and they seemed very cozy. And we've all seen those shots where during the reunion, or was it during the break, where they had sort of like a intense conversation, and then sort of like Sandoval was kind of like annoyed with the producers because they sort of jumped in. Anyways, so guys, don't be shocked. As I said and predicted, Ariana will move out, Raquel will move in. Facts. And pregnancy. So she's not pregnant now because I've been seeing that on social media a lot. People are like, Raquel's pregnant. She's not pregnant yet. But I'm just telling you, it's going round and round. I feel it. I feel it.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack there, but we will have to save that for another live. But
Yes.
yes, no, I mean it's crazy to think how quickly all of this has moved. The mid-season trailer, which has new footage in it from just a week and a half ago. The
Mm.
reunion just shot. Restraining orders being dropped.
Well, I knew that would happen.
Of
I knew
course.
that
I
would
mean,
happen. Come
you know, I
on.
think the only next question from here is what's the status of Raquel and Sandoval's status on the show? Like what I
Mhm.
wonder what producers will do, because I'm sure they want to keep them because this is such a ratings grab for them. This is huge. I mean, people are watching it that never watched it before. People are watching it again. Funny enough, I just saw Jeff Lewis on the E! News, and he was talking about how he had stopped watching Vanderpump Rules, but this brought him back to it. So it's
Same, same, same. I had dropped out 3 seasons ago, and now I'm back on it. So
yeah.
there
But
you
so
go.
many people said the same thing.
Yeah, I think we needed that. I mean, we needed that. They don't need that drama. Ariana definitely doesn't need that in her life. But again, I did say Ariana is fine. Remember, guys, last week, and I said she's fine. She's actually going to thrive from this. She's going to make the most of it. She's really smart. She is hardworking. She'll just come out of it on the top. Just trust me. And we see it already. We see it already. And I also said that she already knew about that. So she bounced back really fast for someone who had just found out. Just saying.
I
She knew.
think that she had inklings, and I think that's what I think the phone situation was just the confirmation that she needed. But I don't think that she was like dumb smacked at the point of finding the information out. No.
Maybe she was even relieved. Maybe she was even relieved.
Partially, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, listen, we've
yeah.
all been there. Sometimes, as painful as it is, you have this sigh of relief. Like, now I don't have to feel this panic and anxiety around this
Mhm.
question.
Exactly. And the reason why it's painful is because it's the ego that, that hurts your ego. But emotionally, you might actually feel a sense of relief if that happens to you and you're in a toxic relationship or a relationship that it's become so codependent that it's not easy for you to get out of. Sometimes things like things like this happen. And yeah, it can be shocking. It's not good for your ego, but you can jump back right, back up again after a few days, and people are like, what's going on? No,
Hmm.
that's because you were just trying to find the right time. But anyways, enough about them. Because honestly, I'm starting to get my VPR fatigue is getting stronger and stronger. It is, but I'm still fascinated.
It's literally everywhere.
Maddie Bug says, I'm happy for Ariane. She'll be great without that loser. Agree.
Absolutely.
Agree. I want like a redemption season next season of Ariana. Like, I don't know, let her open her own restaurant or bar. Let her publish her own book. Let her do her own thing. I want to see her house hunting. I want her to decorate. Like, let's give Ariana some of that limelight, like on her own. She deserves it because she's always been really likable and really down to earth.
Yes. And her and Katie's sandwich shop is going to be opening. So, and the location of it is actually perfect because it's just down the street from Sir.
Mm.
So, I mean, she's going to be fine. Plus, she just got cast in a Lifetime movie with Megan
Really?
Good. So,
Oh.
listen, she's doing phenomenal for someone who just had this big scandal break. So the fame has its good and bad, right?
True.
Um, so, but yes, enough of
Yeah.
Sandoval.
So enough of that. Enough of them. Let's get back to the whole chump drama. So, Giorgio, please tell us what's been going on. Where are we with everything?
Well, this was the last thing I was gonna even think would be an issue, just because of the group of people that it involves. And so I had seen a TikTok that a woman was listening to Heather McDonald's Patreon,
Hmm.
where Heather kind of explained that there was a situation that made her very emotional and her feelings were greatly hurt, and she explained basically she explained how the date, like, I guess she was going to visit her sister who lives nearby, but then they went over to Kelly Dodd's house because they were like day drinking or something. They were all hanging
Hmm.
out, and Chef Stu was there, Megan Weaver. And if you're not familiar, Megan Weaver is on Jeff Lewis's show. Yes. And she's on Jeff Lewis Live a lot. So you may recognize her. But yeah, so they were all hanging out. Jeff Lewis, I found out, was not there. Just Chef Stu was there. And so they were
Hmm.
at Kelly Dodd's and Rick's house, and they were drinking and hanging out. And I guess at some point, Megan, I guess, felt the need to tell Heather that, look, I think you're opportunistic. I think you're fame hungry. Um, and then I think this is what got to Heather was she said, nobody likes you. Like, nobody wants to be around you. And I think the grouping of that statement also added to the way that Heather felt in the moment, which I think anybody would feel this way, which is bullied. And now all of a sudden you're looking around at everyone at this place and you're like, wow, no
Hmm.
one here actually likes me. What am I doing here? This person who I thought was my friend is telling me that she doesn't like me and thinks I'm an opportunistic, fame hungry POS, essentially. So this made Heather very emotional, obviously. So she was crying. And then I guess Chef Stu let Jeff Lewis know what had happened. And Heather said she went home, and she always films or records a Patreon, basically like talking about her week. And she didn't know if she was going to post this, but she had let Chef Stu know that she was possibly going to post this on Patreon. She just wasn't sure.
Hmm.
And then I think she'd also found out from Chef Stu that, or through that situation, that I guess that was the reason why she also wasn't invited to Halloween at Universal Studios when they had like had some outing to that event. And so she decided that, since she hadn't heard from Megan, which she was waiting for her to either respond or apologize or whatever have you, and she didn't.
Hmm.
So she posted it to her Patreon, and then it kind of took off from there. And then from there, Kelly and Rick talked about it on their Daily Smash because this was at their house.
Right.
And their point was, you know, Heather said that she felt bullied by Megan Weaver, but they felt that Heather posting about this on Patreon causing her Juicy Scoop fans to then attack Megan. And then I don't know why, but people also attacked Chef Stu. But Chef Stu was
Hmm.
actually defending Heather. So that was confusing. But nonetheless, so they were basically saying like they felt like Heather was actually being bullying in that situation by
Yeah.
posting it, making it public. But then I guess Heather and Jeff had a conversation. They were in a good place, but Heather did say that she will never do Jeff Lewis Live again. Um, and she, as of I think the latest update, she was on Kelly and Rick Daily Smash Friday and said that she does not foresee her and Megan being friends because she doesn't want to be around people that don't favor her or that don't want to be around her. So, the whole thing's kind of messed up. I mean, she talked about some like triggers from a party in high school that kind of was a similar situation. So I get it. I do. I question the reason why Megan, I guess, felt the need to get that off her chest. I think that's where people are questioning it like, why are you bringing this up now? Why would you bring it up while you guys have been hanging out this entire time and you guys have had a friendship up until this point? So why? So were you being fake the entire time? So I understand where Heather's coming from. Like, was any of this genuine on your end? Because Heather's point was we communicated on a regular basis. Whenever I asked her a question, she responded quickly and with like genuine response, and it was just very strange. So, but yes, it does seem that her and Jeff are okay. She's not interested in becoming friendly or having a conversation at this point with Megan. I did hear that Megan did offer a formal apology on Jeff Lewis Live. So
I liked Megan's apology. It seemed sincere, and I do feel that she's a Leo, by the way. I'm gonna bring up her chart in a minute. She's Leo. Like, she's got a lot of Leo in her chart. So she's someone who sometimes can come across sort of like, I know things better, know it all, or I know things better than you do. A little bit of this Leo arrogance. She's very blunt, honey. I love how she says all inclusive, honey. I love her. And here it is. Heather, I agree with you. I think Heather is okay with making fun of herself because she is honest about how she is. I mean, she keeps saying like, oh, now I don't, I'm not interested in becoming friends with this A-list celebrity. So now I'll just talk about them on my podcast. So she comes out and says things like that, which makes her honest, in my opinion, or self-deprecating. She does that. But her being a Gemini as well, we'll look at their charts in a minute. Heather is a Gemini. There's always this duality, this polarity that's going on. Like, I like to talk about myself, but I don't want anyone else talking about me in that way. They're not allowed. That's a boundary. And that's what Megan did. And I honestly think Megan was triggered by something, probably because she thinks that Heather, is always invites herself to events and trips and whatnot, or because Heather, as a true Gemini, likes to talk a lot and about herself, whereas Megan is not that way. And I also think that Heather, to be honest, is also, I don't think she's going to come out and say it, but I have a feeling that she's also upset with Jeff, who handled it really well, I have to say. Okay, he did handle it as diplomatically as he could because he was in a very tough spot. He wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But I do think that probably there are issues there from Heather's side that was all bubbled up after Megan said what she said. I agree with you. This is high school. This is like something that, everyone loves drama, and people like to monetize off of drama. But I really think that Heather shouldn't have made a big deal out of it unless she had already made up her mind that she doesn't want to be on Jeff Lewis anymore because she was so upset. So it was her way of explaining why she's kind of like distancing herself from the chumps. Just saying. What do you think?
I see a couple people in the chat saying this. I, for a second yesterday, was looking over all the content around this and then looking at the information. I often wonder, because this is what my mind does, if this is all just for all of them to get some publicity out of it.
I think that I genuinely think it's true. Like, I really think that I feel that their feelings are valid and they're genuine and it's all true. I just think that I feel that Heather just jumped. She was too fast to put it out there. She could have waited a couple of days before she posted it on her Patreon.
She did say the reason why she did that was because she knows that Jeff would have brought it up on his Monday show because he talked about everything, and her show doesn't come out until Tuesday. So she didn't want to chase it. She wanted to get ahead of it. So that made sense to me because I often thought, I thought the same thing as well. It's like, oh, well, that is true. Jeff does talk about like he'll talk about like if you ate
Yeah.
something that he thought was disgusting, he's going to talk about it on his Monday show. So of course
Oh.
he's going to talk about this because, he's connected to it. So
Well, he should have called then Heather to come on his show on Monday. They should have talked and they should have said, listen, Heather, I don't agree with Megan and how the way her delivery was off, was crap. Maybe jump on because Megan wasn't on the show until Friday. So
yeah.
because
But
she
I
wasn't
think she had made her mind up when she spoke to Jeff privately that she was no longer going to do his show.
Okay.
So
Got it.
I think she was turned off. I think she feels like slighted. Obviously.
I'm gonna throw some cards on Megan and Heather just to see the energy around them right now. I want to see because Megan apologized. Heather didn't receive it that well because yeah, I mean Megan did apologize, but it was half an apology. Let's just admit that. Like she said,
it was basically sorry that I was so blunt about telling you the truth.
Exactly. Sorry, I was so drunk on Manjaro that I couldn't control what came out of my mouth, but I still feel what I feel about you. That was the apology.
It's insane.
It's insane. It didn't make it any better.
No, not at all. It was worse. But she's a Leo. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? That is an apology to a Leo, though. That, that would be offensive if you didn't receive it as an apology because they'd be like, what do you mean? You're lucky I apologize at all for anything. I still mean it.
Half-baked. Yeah, such a Leo thing. It's like, yes, I admit it. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said it the way I've said it. But hey, it was your fault because you triggered it. That's
exactly. It's your fault because you're an idiot.
But again, that's also Jeff Lewis being an Aries. That's also the kind of no, Jeff Lewis wouldn't really apologize, to be honest. I mean,
not unless he really felt like I've heard him genuinely apologize about stuff before, and you're like, okay, that's genuine. But there are times where he's just saying it because he has to.
Yeah.
But he doesn't mean it, and so But that's what I appreciate about him. He's very honest about his ups and downs with his feelings around things, and it shows growth. It shows that we're all humans. I appreciate that about him.
I agree. That's why I love Jeff Lewis too. I love that he's blunt. I love that he talks about his life. I love that he talks about his relationships and that he really craps on his boyfriends. Poor Chef Stu, he gets the end of it every freaking time. It's funny for us, but I'm glad Chef Stu is able to take it.
Yeah, no, he's got a great thick skin for that.
He does. That's good.
Yes.
So let me tell you about Megan. So Megan is like, these aren't Megan's feelings right now. Okay. I'm not talking about what happened then, but what's going on. Where are we now? Or where are they now? Okay. We can also ask the cards about Jeff Lewis. Like, who does he really side with? Because
that's what I'm like interested in, actually. I would love to think, because I don't know if he's just being neutral. You know what I mean? Trying to keep it neutral.
That's true. So Megan said, I did my deed, I apologized. I shouldn't have waited for, as long as I did, but I agree with Megan with that. I'm the same. Like sometimes you just don't want to apologize straight away. You just really need to process and understand where your feelings were coming from and why you acted the way you did in order for the apology to be genuine and heartfelt. So
yeah.
I'm with Megan on that. I have to say, okay, because people just jumped and they were like, why is Megan so silent? And isn't she going to say anything? No, give her some time. Give her some time. People make mistakes and need time to understand. So what is up? Megan I'll tell you what triggered Megan. Something about her son, because her son comes up, because she has a daughter and a son, as far as I know.
Okay.
Something about her son, maybe something that Heather did, or maybe Heather said to Megan about her son, or something that Heather did to her son or said to her son. This is what I'm getting. And because there were like all these, already Megan wasn't that warm to Heather, and there was some negativity there and past issues that we're not aware of. Okay, just because we haven't heard of anything doesn't mean it didn't happen. So that's what triggered Megan. Something about her son, something revolving her son. That was the point where she was like, snap, like she didn't have control of what was coming out of her mouth and the way she reacted. Honestly, I'll tell you this. Yeah, look, the mom card, the Queen of Wands, I feel that it's been, Megan feels that sometimes maybe Heather can be dismissive towards maybe her children, Megan's children, or dismissive towards some of the chumps, just saying. And this is something that Megan was like keeping it to herself, and it was building. And then the mom card comes because that's her mom. Leo moms are so protective, guys. They're dragon moms when it comes to their kids. Leos generally, moms or dads. So I feel this is what happened. She snapped because something revolving around her kids, specifically around her son. If anyone has any information in the chat, please do let us know if there's anything that you might know about it. So, and Megan does see Heather as someone who is sort of clout chasing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Megan's not into that at all. Let's look at Heather, and let's look at Jeff. Okay, Heather, I'm going to do a quick one, and then we'll look at Jeff and see what is he really thinking, or how does he?
Oh boy.
Let's see. So this is Heather. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's Heather. Heather saw Megan or as someone with a 7 of Pentacles, someone she was connected to through work, through business, through Jeff. All right. She never saw her relationship with Megan was never friendly or never deeper than surface level.
Yeah.
I'm getting. So it was just basically we're the chumps, we're both of them are really good friends with Jeff. So that's the connection. There was no other connection, energetic, spiritual, emotional, of any kind.
Yeah.
With Heather, hold on, I need to pull some cards. Okay. Yeah. Same comes up. Heather, it's the same cards, guys. Look, 7 of Cups, they didn't like each other. They didn't. Regardless of what they're saying now, that they're like, but I thought you liked me, blah, blah, blah. No. And I'm sure the chumps knew about that, which is why Heather was accusing the chumps of talking behind her back.
Yes.
Because Heather never hid the fact that she couldn't warm up to Megan. And Megan never hid the fact that she couldn't warm up to. So this was like something open within the chumps. But I do feel that, there's a lot of talking behind the back. There's a lot of gossiping, especially in big groups like that, big friend groups. We know that. Look at APR.
And those specific personalities on top of it, you're like, are you kidding? Nothing is sacred.
Exactly. Oh my God, the same cards. But Heather, I'll tell you what she feels. She does want to make up with Megan, not in the sense that she wants to hang out with Megan, but she wants to make peace and just bury the hatchet and move on from that and be civil and all that, etc., etc. But I do have to say, because Heather is a Gemini, regardless what she says, sometimes she hides her true feelings. That in mind. Let's look at Jeff.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy, here we got. And we've got 17 to chat. Please like this video, you guys. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. And please do subscribe to the channel because we have so much content and different content for everyone, basically. A lot of content to go around. So let's see, Jeff. So the question is, who would who is Jeff more close to? Or
I would say I mean, I know he's known Heather since college, so it's a long relationship there. So I don't think that he doesn't genuinely have care for Heather. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be with her, like be in her life to
true.
this standard. But I do wonder, yes, who does he side with here? Is it, I mean, I don't know if you can side with anyone here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a
true.
matter of opinion, but
I'll
uh
see how Jeff feels in general, and we'll take it from
yeah.
there and see. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he wasn't there, but based on what he heard.
So, how does Jeff feel about the situation between his two friends? And I can do it separate. Hold on. Let's see. Let's do a quick bath. Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Ooh, okay. So, guys, look. Jeff is glad he wasn't there. He's glad. He's relieved he wasn't there. And he was sort of like the periphery of the situation. But he is, I feel, okay, this is not being told by the cards. This is my guides. This is my third eye. I feel he sides more with Megan because he does see Megan's side. He does see what annoys Megan or, what's annoying to Megan from that Heather does. I can't even speak today. But and I feel that he agrees, but he is someone who is a loyal friend. We know that about. And Aries are, they can be very blunt. They can be very mature. Sometimes they can be petty. But guys, they're loyal.
Yes.
They are loyal. So are Tauruses. So there's some signs that are extremely loyal. And he values that. So if you show Jeff loyalty, he'll show you that back. He's extremely generous as well. Aries are generous. They like to buy gifts for people. They like to gift people. It's not buying their love before anyone says that. It's their love language. They like to share. That's how they are. So I have to say that Megan to him is family. It's like almost like a sister to him. He wants this to end. Like he wants this rift to end. He doesn't want to. I feel he's over it. So he's probably told both of them, guys, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to be involved in it. Just keep me out. I said what I have to say. So that's that. He's trying to be neutral, but I have to say and be honest that I feel that he's siding more with Megan.
I mean, I thought that, honestly, I felt like that only because of the relationship he has with Megan.
Yeah.
And she is on his show. And so they have, I'm just saying. And I'm not saying that doesn't like Heather, but I think Jeff is one of those people that he will call anyone's crap out.
He does. He does that.
That's just what he does. I imagine he probably told Heather, like, look, you are annoying in these situations. You have to know that. Now, did it come out the right way? Did she say it in a way that you would have received it well? Obviously not. But also, it's between you guys. And like, I wasn't there. I can imagine that for him, it's like, yeah, I wasn't there. I'm not going to pick sides. She comes on my show. She is on one of my shows. And, Heather, although she's known Jeff a long time, I feel like they're more celebrity friends in the sense of like, Heather's good for bringing, the witty commentary to the Jeff Lewis live show. She has enough connections to everyone that they run in the same circle. So it makes sense to be friends with her. But I think in this situation, it seems like Megan is someone who's looking at Heather like, you're very dismissive of anyone else unless they have something like an opportunity to present you with. And maybe that last drink hit her and she said, screw it. I'm going to tell her how I feel. I don't care.
I'm telling you that triggered by something that revolves her son. I'm telling you. And that's why. And she was probably intoxicated a little bit. She's on Manjaro. She's not eating. This is no judgment. But you know how it is, you guys. You haven't eaten anything all day and you had like a glass of wine. Just a glass of wine. It can really hit you.
Well, they've been drinking all day.
They were drinking all day. They were day drinking. So, I mean, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So, but here's the thing. I do, and let's look at their chart really quickly because um I see why there's more chemistry between Jeff and Megan. I do. Megan is someone who's extremely blunt, is loyal. Leos are loyal. And let's look at, hold on, let me show you guys Megan's chart. Sorry if it looks a little bit weird here. You see, she's got Sun in Leo, Moon in Leo, Mars, Leo. She's Leo all over. She's someone who's not going to, like, she can't bottle it in. She can't. She can't. And then you've got Pluto and Virgo. She's extremely intuitive as well. And if and when Megan snaps, and that's why I don't think that this is hold on, let me remove this because I feel like we're like, now that she snapped, she's not going to go back. Regardless, I feel she's going to be cordial and civil, but she's not going back. She's not even going to make the effort of sort of like maybe the very special occasion if they both have to be there. Megan will be there, but I think that it's over. It's done for
I
Megan.
do too.
And then Heather, let's look at her chart really quickly. Sun in Gemini, Moon in Libra, Venus in Cancer, and Mars in Cancer, which is why she's so sensitive, because Heather cares about what people say. That's why I think she comes out and says things like that about herself before anyone else. It's because she wants to create that narrative or that impression that she gives off to people. That's what she does. So, and because she's someone sensitive, she's very in touch with her feelings. Let me bring that back up. Hold on. So, and then she's got Pluto in Virgo, Mars in Cancer. Generally, Heather doesn't do well confrontation. I feel that if she is being confronted or someone is pissy with her, she loses it a little bit. Like she doesn't know how to react. Like her emotions just are all over the place. Heather needs time to process her feelings before she reacts. If she reacts without processing, most of the time it's not going to bode well for her. It's not going to bode well for her. Megan is laser friggin' sharp. She's like I've been processing for a long time why I don't like you. I just need that. I just need the excuse, or I need something for me to let it all out.
Well, and also you saw she had the Virgo and Mercury, which that also Virgos, they keep everything ready to go. They are looking for the right moment in. The Leo just amplifies it all and makes it that much worse. The delivery. Look, I think this is going to blow over. I don't think this is going to, I know they keep saying collateral damage in terms of the friend group, but it doesn't really seem that anyone's really super impacted. I think they're adults enough that they can kind of still remain friends without expecting much out of Heather and Megan. And I think I agree. I think that they'll be cordial at the bigger events, but do I think they'll be at a 5-seat dinner together? No, I don't. It'll be more than likely be separate small gatherings, between Heather and Megan. I don't foresee them doing anything more intimate unless it's a bigger gathering. So
but I agree with people. People say Heather seems a bit passive aggressive. I'll tell you what, I think I love her podcast because I like the topics and the guests that she brings on. But I agree that sometimes she overdoes it. Like sometimes she talks over people. She interviews someone. If she wants to put her point across, she will talk for 10 minutes over the guest to put that across. That's a bit exhausting, but that's a Gemini thing. They're all over the place sometimes, when they want to communicate, when they want to say things. I do think, though, that she's an incredible mother. I love that she is very devoted to her husband and her kids and her stepdaughter, who she calls daughter. I think it just shows you that she does have a heart, that she's not a narcissist. She's not a narcissist. Sometimes people think that Geminis can be narcissists because they talk a lot about themselves and they like to be center of attention. I feel Heather is very insecure. She's been through a lot of bullying and trauma during her Chelsea lately years. Okay, she's a stand-up comedian. It's a tough world out there to be a stand-up comedian, especially when Heather started, where there was this masculine toxicity in stand-up. It wasn't easy for women to comedians to make it. And she did. She did. She figured things out for herself. So I do respect her as a professional. But I do agree with some of the people in the chat that she does sometimes come across either snobby or a little, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
a little bit sort of dismissive as well sometimes, because it's one thing joking and being sarcastic, but with sarcasm, there's a fine line between being sarcastic and mean. So
I think it's a defense mechanism, honestly.
it's
I think she uses that as a way to not get her feelings hurt if someone perhaps may not take to her. So she'd rather
yeah.
be the one dismissive. Maybe it's subconscious too.
Mm.
But
Isa says it's her podcast. I agree, it's her
yeah.
podcast, and that's we listen. Listen. I'm trying to see. What we're trying to do now is just like basically from the outside. We're not really deep diving. We're not really reading them. I'm not doing like a whole deep dive or reading to see what Heather is like, what Megan is like, what Jeff is like. But intuitively, and as outsiders and observers of what happened, we're just saying where this all went wrong. You just have 3 type A personalities. Okay, 2. I'll remove Jeff from that because he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
then
I mean, that's very true. You have to think about who's in this situation. And they were drinking. Megan's on Mangiano. She's not eating. I don't think you're supposed to drink when you're on that stuff. But nonetheless, you first of all, day drinking is a whole other monster.
yeah,
So I can only imagine. But you know what? This is just, in my opinion, just an old drunken stupor of an evening that
I've got one thing to say. It's Kelly Dodd's fault.
it's
I
always
think
Kelly Dodd's fault. She
it's
probably
Kelly Dodd's fault because she didn't bring out that cheese platter before all this happened. If Megan had eaten some of that cheese off that cheese platter, this wouldn't have
none of this would have
have
happened.
happened. Nope, no, Kelly Dodd, it's your fault.
She's a horrible guest.
Horrible host, Kelly. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking.
Host, yes, you're right. I said guest. It was her house.
Guest. Host.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, they're all crazy though. They all hang out and have those day drinking parties all the time.
Yeah. Listen, they all have to learn how to coincide together. All of them together, they're chumps. Once in a while, Heather will have to be in the same room and at the same event with Megan. They have to figure out how they're going to act. They have to let bygones be bygones. It was horrible. I do understand Heather feeling upset and doing a whole Patreon on it. When you feel like you're attacked, obviously you want to gather your troops. That's
Absolutely.
what a lot of content creators do and YouTubers. As soon as they get into trouble, they will obviously involve their following because they want their troops. They want to have that backup. So I get it. 100%. They're all at fault here. I mean, both sides, Megan and Heather, I feel, because of the way they handled it. So, I mean, it's tough. It's all tough. I don't know if Georgia, do you want to say anything else? Does the chat want to ask anything around this?
I mean, no, I think I echo everything you say. I think a lot of people in the chat also agree. I mean, I think it's just one of those things, you have to look at the people involved.
Mm.
I mean, I think if this had happened in a different group of friends, maybe this would have been a little bit more shocking. But considering Heather McDonald and her public image and the fact that she's, on a podcast called Juicy Scoop, she's friends with people like Jeff Lewis, who's notorious for, running around and talking about everything that goes on in his perimeter, whether he's there or not. And I know he did talk about this throughout the week, but that goes back to Heather's point of why she released the Patreon Sunday, because she knew she knows him well enough to know that he's obviously going to use this for content.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I think the truth is that they're not meant to be friends, and that's okay.
That I agree. And Rafala says Jeff did a lot wrong. He pushed it harder. That's Jeff. That's what he does. That's his job. That's
You
why he has
can't
a
be
radio
shocked by
show.
that. And I don't even think I think that's the point. It's like she understands how he operates, which is why she did it that way, because she knows. And she's not mad about it. She just understands, like, this is how it works.
Yeah. So I hope this is a lesson learned for everyone on how to handle situations like that, especially in big friend groups. I've got a big friend group too. And it's crazy. It's a little bit of VPR-ish, where people used to date when they were like 18, 19. They're now everyone's friends. They bring new boyfriends, new girlfriends, and it's just a mess. Sometimes there's drama. Sometimes there's just whatever. But we have a way of communicating where it never blows over. It never gets to the point. Usually I'm the one mediating. Yeah, me. I'm usually the one who's like, everyone comes to me because they want advice because of what I do, because of that. So I'm always so that's a big responsibility. But maybe that's what you need in a big friend group. You need someone who's going to be the responsible one, the mature one, who can, just calm things down and bring everyone together. Sorry to say, I love you, Jeff, but Jeff, you're not the one. You're not the one to do that. Maybe Doug should do that job. Doug should.
Oh gosh, yeah, Doug would be perfect at that.
Isn't he? Question on Dora Rodriguez subject. What was Heather's father like? She always says he was so mean to her mother. Remind me, who's Dora Rodriguez? Okay, we just went quiet for a second.
I don't know.
Okay, that's she's incredible. I like her, you guys.
She's always been kind to me.
We're on the east side. We know an incredibly generous, kind Heather over here. Okay,
yeah, she's always been kind. I've never had a bad experience with her.
Does Megan have some other life issue that is putting her on edge, and Heather was just at the wrong place? I can ask the question, but as I said, I really think that it was just like amped up stuff, and then suddenly something regarding her son. Maybe she heard something, she saw something, she picked up something, and it just all came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can check if there's anything like private, let's just say. Is it her relationship you're asking about? I don't know. But I don't feel that. I don't feel it's anything other than that. I really feel it's the day drinking, the lack of food, and then something that triggered her. And I really don't feel there's anything deeper than that. It was the drinking. Look, this is my drinking card with the King of Cups. It was just wrong time, wrong place. Same cards keep coming up. No, it's not. Well, if you're asking about what is putting her on edge, I also feel that maybe Megan right now, I know they're filming Hollywood, what's it called? Hollywood Lift, House Lift, or whatever it's called. But I feel that maybe Megan right now doesn't have any projects down the pipeline, and she might be a little bit stressed about money. But other than that, I don't see anything else that would sort of trigger this big fight, etc. So, oh, Dora's in the chat. All right, okay. We're like, who's Dora?
I was like, wait, what?
She's another Femmily. Okay, sorry, Dora, because the way that question. We're like, I really thought it was like a true crime question that people were just wanted to know something. True crime related. Sorry, Dora. Sorry, Dora. Oh, Dora. Okay, now we know who Dora is. Hi, Dora. First question: was Heather's father a narcissist? Whoa, that's a very specific question.
Yeah.
What? May I ask why you want to know that? I mean, does that change anything regarding Heather and Megan? Just asking. I mean, I don't think I want to touch that subject because it's just like I don't want to start reading Heather and her dad, who is now deceased, because we're just talking about some fun drama online right now. Denise,
Oh, Denise. Hello,
are
love bug.
thank you, honey, for becoming a Femmy officially. Sorry about the confusion, Dora. It was because everything like the chat was on about like Megan and Jeff and Heather, and then suddenly I see the Dora, and I'm like, okay, right. Go back to Dora's interesting question. Okay, can you please repost? It's very hard for me to find it. So if anyone can just copy paste it with a Q next to it so I don't miss it. Goes to see. Oh, is there a super chat? Oh dear. What did I miss? Okay. I don't know, you guys. What am I missing? Oh, okay. Thank you, Orchid. She said Heather found her dad trying to commit. Oh. Did you know that, Georgio?
I did not know that.
Oh. Wow. Okay. That just threw me off, but I'll ask. Who said yeah, but did Heather say that about her dad? Did she share that with everyone?
I'm wondering if she has talked about this in her book.
Oh, true. Yes, probably. Okay. Well, okay, let's throw a couple of cards on Heather's dad if he was a narcissist. But you know what? If he was a narcissist, he wouldn't commit suicide. That's the ultimate defeat for narcissists, so they wouldn't do that.
That's true.
But then again, you know, what was the guy of the Gabby Pepito's boyfriend? He was a narcissist, and then he unalived himself.
Yeah,
So
that's true too. So I guess there's loopholes and everything.
exactly, depends on the level of narcissism again, I guess. So let's see. We've got 90 in the chat. Hello, everyone. Please like this video before you go anywhere, before you ask any questions, and before you forget. Thank you. All right, so Heather's dad. Let's see, Heather's dad. I tried to see if I could pick up his energy, but I couldn't. Well, her dad was very strong, so he very strong personality, that's for sure. I feel that he was authoritative as well, maybe even strict, but he loved his kids. I don't see him so the question here is whether she saw her dad trying to commit. I don't know why do I feel that he didn't in the end? Maybe it was an attempt, but I don't feel that that's how he exited. So please let me know, you guys. But oh, Denise says so. Petito's unaliver is unalive. Yeah, he's unalived. Heather has shared finding her dad after taking pills for the got him to the hospital. There you go. So he survived that. That's what I wasn't picking up. That's what caused his exit. It was an attempt, right? Yes. I feel that I feel that Heather did find him. She was either in like she saw something or she walked in the room after the fact of that. And I do feel after that attempt that they worked, both of them worked on their relationship, father and daughter. And I feel that they started bonding and working on communicating and on their relationship after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really positive because I feel that that's what she needed. So she had that time as well, Heather, before he exited, before he left this world, for her to build some kind of bond and relationship with him that I feel she didn't before that, because he was very, very strict and authoritative. and also very much about he worked a lot. I feel like money was important to him, you know,
Mhm.
who really put a lot of value on money. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Oh, Dora said Heather said it's Dr. Drew. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so
Okay.
okay. Hold on. This is a do all the chumps really hate Heather? Dr. Drew was talking to her and he mentioned Heather's father was a narcissist. And Heather found her father when he tried. Okay. So the question is whether the other chumps, feel the same way. Okay. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I feel that some chumps like her more than others.
Yeah.
I do feel that they are annoyed. Like what I'm picking up is that they are annoyed with her. Maybe this something happened in the last couple of months during an event, or something happened which maybe triggered this sentiment from the chumps, where they kind of like grouped together and said, we're fed up of Heather, we don't like this. This is what I'm getting. But let's see. Chumps. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel that they dislike her either. I just feel that she's not their cup of tea sometimes, she's not. It's not that there's animosity or hatred or like let's bully or mob against Heather. That's not what I feel whatsoever. They do see it as a business transaction as well. Like, we're all here for the same reason. We're all together. But the chumps are really and I have to say, and I'll come out and say it, Heather is not really a chump. I don't feel that they ever saw her as a chump, or that Heather saw herself as a chump. Just saying. But they're a very tight-knit group. So don't even try to go against one of the chumps, because they're all gonna, one way or another, despite how they want to come out in public and appear, where they're like always trying to find like the middle ground. I tell you, behind the scenes, the chumps are all for each other. They're really ride or die for each other. And especially for Jeff, especially because he's the glue.
Yeah.
He glues everything, like he brings everyone together. So what made Megan to approach Heather like that? Sure, she is a proud Leo, was looking for someone else who, I'm telling you, this is, I feel something happened regarding her son, Heather's son. Could be maybe Megan, what did I say? Sorry, regarding Megan's son. It could have been some like a joke or something that Heather said that Megan might have overheard, or maybe this happened before that involved her son, and just Megan being intoxicated and hungry or hangry, she just lashed out. This is what I'm getting. It's not any deeper. It doesn't go deeper than that, except that Megan never really liked Heather, and that's it, in my opinion. My name so many times. Dora, you're the star.
Oh my gosh, of course. We love a good publicity stunt.
You guys drop a shooting star for Dora, because today's
Yes.
the day. Yes. Yes, thank you, Gabrielle, for reminding everyone. If you want crystals, check out my crystal shop. Everything is linked down below. So let's see. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, but this is pretty much the story. I don't think, again, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. There's not really much more than what we've kind of dug into, but
thank you. Dora, this is for you. This is for you, Dora. There you go. Everyone, type Dora's name.
that's right.
Give Dora some love today. Give her some love. Right. I think this is it. I mean, it's really interesting. You know, you guys, I think I'm gonna do another live next week. I want to talk a little bit about astrology for beginners. Let's talk about, because we always talk about the planets, we talk about the houses, and not everyone understands what that means and how that affects you, your life, your personality, who you are. That's your blueprint. And I want to talk a little bit about that and explore that. So if you guys are interested, I love the chat. It's like, I love this community. Everyone's here for each other. Jeff has the chumps and I have the fammies. Just saying.
That's right. That's right.
Look, everyone's like, Dora. Yes, Dora. So I will be doing true crime readings. The aim is for me to do them weekly, but here's the thing. First of all, I do prioritize private readings. So, and I do have a packed schedule. Second of all, true crime readings, guys, take a toll on me because I do channel. And I do have to do a lot of prep work, meaning I do create like a video, like an intro video of the case, of the story, and then I jump live and I do it. But I do it live for members only because I feel that that's a comfortable, safe environment to do the live. And I would love to hear your questions and get, just make it more interactive. And then I edit it down and then I post it for everyone else. So I am hoping to do a true crime reading next week, as well as an astrology video. So please hang tight because I don't know. It all depends on my schedule, you guys, because yes, I do YouTube, but YouTube is not always my main priority. My main priority is you guys, the readings, helping you. Yes, of course, those videos that I make do help you, but I mean on a one-on-one basis. It's very important for me to help you out and have you guys around. So bear with me. Just if you're new here, subscribe. Community tab, I inform you about everything on Instagram and the community tab here on YouTube. So keep an eye out and you will know what the next videos or content is going to be. So has read me also. Yes, I have. This is what I love about the community, that it's not just like faceless names in a chat. We do genuinely know each other because I've met most of you through the readings that we do. So I know things about you, you know things about me. I'm very open I'm quite private. I've got Scorpio moon. So there are certain elements or facets of my life that are very private, but I'm very transparent about everything else. It's just my kids and my family that I keep sort of. So thank you everyone for the wonderful words.
Yes, thank you guys. This was a fun show as always, and we will talk to you guys next Sunday.
We will talk to you next Sunday with some more scoop, and don't forget to go follow Georgio if you're new here and you haven't already. Come on, because Georgio is doing. I think you're revamping some stuff now, right? You're doing.
I'm starting some more deep dive series on individual housewives that had very interesting backgrounds while on the show or things that happened. So right now I'm working on one with my friend Camille Grammer. So that'll be fun. So I'm gonna be also doing some vlog series on my channel as well, just to kind of like even it out. So but yes.
So there you go. A lot to look forward to. Well, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Same time, same channel.
All
See you,
right.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.